The Joker. No villain embodies madness like the Joker. His beginnings are uncertain, blurred between myth and memory. The most widely accepted story tells of a struggling comedian desperate to provide for his family. After a tragedy took his wife and unborn child, he turned to crime. Wearing a red hood during a robbery, he fell into a vat of chemicals while fleeing Batman. When he emerged, his skin was ghost white, his lips crimson, his hair bright green, and his sanity shattered. That accident didn't create a monster, it revealed one. The Joker realized life was meaningless, that order was an illusion. If the world was a cruel joke, he would become its punchline. His crimes are legendary for their depravity. He crippled Barbara Gordon with a single bullet, then forced her father to look upon the horror. He beat Jason Todd, a teenage Robin, nearly to death with a crowbar before detonating the building around him. He once poisoned Gotham's water supply with his own laughing toxin, turning entire streets into corpses grinning through agony. The Joker doesn't commit evil for gain. He does it to prove that morality can be broken. He isn't chaos without reason. He's chaos with purpose. Thanos. Across the stars, on the moon of Titan, a child was born different. Thanos was an Eternal with a mutation that made him monstrous in appearance and unmatched in intellect. His fascination with death began young. He spent his days in tombs, studying mortality until he fell in love with a silent, cloaked figure, the physical embodiment of death herself. To please her, he killed his own people, dissected gods, and wandered the galaxy searching for meaning. His answer came in the form of the Infinity Stones, 6 artifacts that controlled all aspects of existence. With them, he became unstoppable. And in his most infamous act, he used them to erase half of all life in the universe. Trillions, gone with the snap of his fingers. Entire civilizations vanished, their histories wiped from time. Yet Thanos believed he was saving creation. He saw himself not as conqueror, but as savior, insisting that mercy sometimes requires destruction. He once said, "I am inevitable." That belief, that cold, absolute certainty, is what makes him terrifying. Thanos doesn't crave chaos, he craves balance, achieved through blood.
Darkseid. Far from Earth, beyond the known universe, lies Apocalypse, a world of fire, machines, and suffering. Its ruler, Darkseid, was once Uxas, a prince who murdered the gods of his world to seize their power. When the last fell, his flesh turned to stone, his soul to hatred. Uxas became Darkseid, god of tyranny. He seeks the anti-life equation, a formula that removes free will and bends all thought to his control. To Darkseid, individuality is a flaw. Freedom is pain. His dream is a silent universe, perfectly obedient to his will. He has enslaved countless worlds, reducing civilizations to ash. His Omega beams disintegrate victims, or worse, trap them in endless torment. In one universe, he conquers Earth, kills its heroes, and forces Superman to kneel before him. In another, he murders his own son, Orion, to prove love is weakness. Darkseid's evil is colder than rage. He is not chaos, but order without compassion. The God who believes peace can only exist when no one is free. Dr. Doom. Victor Von Doom was born in the poverty of Latveria, a land haunted by war and superstition. His mother was a sorceress who bartered her soul with demons. His father died protecting him from the wrath of the nobility. Victor grew up consumed by intellect and pride. At university, he met Reed Richards, a man who would become his greatest rival. When Doom's experiment to contact his mother's spirit went wrong, it exploded, scarring his face. He blamed Richards for not warning him enough, and he vowed never again to show weakness. He crafted armor of steel and donned a mask to hide his disfigurement. With technology beyond comprehension and mastery of magic, he overthrew Latveria's rulers and crowned himself monarch. Under his reign, Latveria became a place of peace and fear. No crime, no dissent, only obedience. Doom's ambition goes beyond Earth. He has stolen the powers of cosmic beings, wielded Mjolnir, and, in the Secret Wars, rebuilt reality into a single world where every soul lived under his law. His crimes are acts of godhood, reshaping existence to prove that he alone deserves to rule it. In his heart, Doom is certain he could save humanity if only humanity would kneel. That conviction, intellect without humility, makes him one of the most dangerous minds ever conceived.
Magneto. Eric Lensher's life began in the shadows of the Holocaust. As a child, he watched soldiers tear his family from him and murder them before his eyes. In his grief, his mutant powers awakened, twisting iron gates and bullets alike. He escaped one prison, only to spend the rest of his life building another, a fortress of vengeance. Eric grew into Magneto, master of magnetism, and declared that mutants were the next step in evolution. His mission, to protect them from the same hate that destroyed his people. But protection became conquest, and conviction became tyranny. Magneto has flooded cities, sunk nuclear submarines, and pulled metallic blood from his enemies' veins. In one reality, he reversed Earth's magnetic poles, killing millions in the process. He has ruled mutant nations and slaughtered innocents, believing it necessary to ensure mutant survival. Yet behind the steel mask is pain. Magneto's cruelty is born from fear that history will repeat itself. His evil is not joy in killing, but belief that only domination guarantees safety. That tragic duality makes him both villain and victim. Mephisto. In a hellish dimension beyond space and time, Mephisto rules as Lord of eternal torment. He isn't Satan, but the resemblance is deliberate. He feeds on souls and thrives on corruption, offering mortals everything they desire at a price that damns them forever. Mephisto's evil is built on manipulation. He never needs to strike. His victims destroy themselves. He granted Johnny Blaze's wish to save his father's life, binding him as the cursed Ghost Rider. He tormented the Silver Surfer, tempting him with visions of freedom while chaining him in despair. Perhaps his most cruel act targeted Spider-Man. When Peter Parker's Aunt May was dying, Mephisto offered to save her, if Peter would surrender his marriage to Mary Jane. Desperate, he agreed, and Mephisto erased their love from existence. He didn't do it for power. He did it because taking away joy is his favorite sin. To Mephisto, hope is a weakness to be harvested. Every deal he makes is a slow-burning hell, proving that damnation doesn't always require fire. Sometimes it only takes desperation.
Black Hand. William Hand was born in a funeral home, surrounded by death from his first breath. As a boy, he was quiet, morbid, fascinated by decay. Death was never something to fear. It was something to worship. As an adult, he built a device to harness death energy, drawing power from the dying themselves. That obsession attracted the Black Lantern Ring, a weapon of the emotional spectrum that feeds on death. The ring chose him as its prophet. Black Hand murdered his entire family, laying their bodies in the parlor as an offering. When the ring revived him, he rose as the herald of the Black Lantern Corps. During the Blackest Night, he resurrected fallen heroes as mindless corpses, forcing the living to watch their loved ones hunt them. Unlike other villains, Black Hand doesn't seek to rule or destroy out of anger. He seeks silence. To him, life is the infection. Death is the cure. His calm devotion to extinction makes him one of the most unsettling beings in comics, a priest of nothingness. Kang. Nathaniel Richards was born in the 31st century, a descendant of the brilliant Reed Richards. He grew up in an age of peace, where war was a relic of history. But genius bred boredom. When he discovered time travel, he looked backwards, to eras of struggle and conquest, and envied them. Nathaniel used his machines to travel through time, first ruling ancient Egypt as a pharaoh, then returning centuries later as Kang the Conqueror. His armies span millennia, each version of himself battling others for dominance across timelines. Kang has erased entire civilizations to protect his own future, altered history to ensure his birth, and slaughtered versions of himself that dared defy him. In one twisted act, he killed the woman he loved, then spent eternity revisiting the moment, trying to undo it, creating endless cycles of tragedy that consumed entire realities. He's a tyrant of time, immortal because he can always return. His cruelty isn't impulsive, it's methodical, precise. Kang doesn't want to rule a world. He wants to rule every moment that ever was or ever will be. Time itself is his kingdom, and suffering is his legacy.